So this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and it's time for us to learn Shar Kavanos. These are the Shar Kavanos which is written actually by the Riyah Kodesh as dictated to his Talmud Muvchach, Rabbi Chaim Vital. We have a benefit here of something as a very deep subject and where it's going to get deeper. That we have a Tiva Kavanos is coming over here to teach us and explain out the Uri for us. Something that can be very difficult in places. So let's start over here. We're on number Tes Zion, and this is where we're going to begin. Is a gam daki b'kol tefilah in all of our prayers. Ana ma'alam alomos al yonos. We elevate the upper worlds and mekashrim osam zeh and we tie them together, one to the next. We create unities. Kenisker b'parshas Breishis. We see this over in Parshas Breishis. Be'inyan ha'hechelos. And we're talking about Breishis in the Zohar. Izach came to Parshas Pekudi, also there. Shal Yedei called Tefilah, because what happens in every single one of our prayers. Anama Alam Alam Bria Yitzira and Asiya. We take the three worlds, which are below the world of Itzilus, and we elevate them one to the next. The Mitzkashrim and Mitzchavrim called Olamos. We tie together, we join into oneness, all of these Olamos Yachad. So we take the lowest one, we join it to the upper one, and we keep moving upwards, going upwards from the bottom to the top. We go from Masiya, the Yetzira, from the lowest world, the world of action, into Yetzira. From Yetzira, the Bria, and Bria, Letzilus. The V'chol Tefilah Mis'alam Alamos. Now, every single one of Tefilos, we have this elevation of the world. And it begins to go up from Asiya. Shemis Alan the Chatzilus, and let me see if we got this right, and it ultimately winds up in Atzilus. Mitzchatzchila the Alas Basiya, except the word Ad Shemis Alan the Atzilus, until it comes up to Atzilus Gamoshi is Voyer. This is going to be explained. Avatzarak said, but you need to know this thing. We are not able to elevate these three worlds, which are called collectively by the name Bia. Bia means Bria, Yitzira, and Asiya using the first letters only. We're not actually able to make them go up into Atzilus, the Kalo Osam Sham, in order to incorporate them. They really don't completely and totally go up. But only in regards to the Niran. Now we have mentioned this before in this concept of the Niranchi, where we have mentioned the quality of the lights. It's the most interior aspect of the Ein Sof that comes into the world. But so only that aspect of the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshamas, which we find in the three worlds of Asiya, Yitzira, and Bria. So now the Tiv comes along and explain it out a little more easily. He says, who rock bechelik hapanimi shebalamos. Now he's telling us that the olamos all have a chelik which is panemi and a chelik which is chitzoni. So he says, neshama shebesocham. So then we understand the neshama means panemius. Hanikra nefesh ruach neshama. So the panemius of the light that's inside, generally speaking, is called the neshama. That neshama is actually made out of two other elements as well. It's called the nefesh and the ruach. Shehem panemius shalomos bia, which represent the inner reality of these olamos. The non-structural part, the spiritual part. Shehanefesh hu panemius v'neshama shel olam asiyah. So let's take the word nefesh. Nefesh represents the panemius, the essence of, and the neshama, once again, the panemius of olam asiyah. The veruchos, the ruach, that concept, hu panemius v'neshama shel olam yitzira. V'haneshama hu panemius v'neshama shel olam abriya. Now, when you're talking about the panemius, that is the pure spiritual reality. In other words, the way I hear it, he says, is that can be raised into a tremendously high level if you learn how to process it properly. But when you talk about the physical world, we don't see our earth moving up into the world beyond. We're not. That's not happening. V'heim olim rak achre sheyischafcho v'ya'asu gam chein lepenimius. Now there is a method which is described in other places in the Rav of how it is that the chitzonius can become penimius. Is that the words are that the penimius of the lower world attaches itself onto the chitzonius of the upper world and makes the upper world a chitzonius. Now think about that. It's a little mind-boggler, but that's exactly what happens. Now number Yud Ches, Ve'eluchem ha'olim im ha'shchina lamala. This is what goes up with the Shekhinah up above. Im ha'shchina lamala, sheich ha'malchus al yonis. So the Shekhinah, when we use that word, now he's really helping us out here by giving us definitions of simple words that we need. So the Shekhinah is up above us. Which another word for her is the Malchus Alyona. The upper world, that is the Shekhinah, is the Malchus of Olam Atzilus. HaShekhinah Nikras HaMalchus Alyona, she's called the upper Malchus. He says, Ahainu, that is to say, Midas HaMalchus Shal Olam Atzilus, it is the Midah, that is the measurement. What he means the receptacle and the filter by which the Malchus of Atzilus manifests itself. V'hi Yoredes Kol Laila El Malkum Abiyah, and every single night it goes down into the lower worlds, and the worlds outside of Atzilus, which are Bri, Yitzir, and Asiyah. Shalayla, why? Because Laila is the Man Miyote Yureach. It's a time when the moon becomes minimized. The moon is another word for Malchus, Shia Malchus. Shemistalekas v'Yoredes b'chatzos Laila. The what happens that she leaves, goes down from Atzilus b'chatzos Laila at midnight every night. Besod Galus Shekhinah. This is the secret of the exile of the Shekhinah. But the Shekhinah is not just getting lost. She's got business to do down in Bia. In order to go into these lower worlds, to salvage the light of Kedusha which is trapped within the physical world. That are below her, and ultimately that by the refinement process will bring us to the elevation of the entire Bia. And this will cause all of the worlds to go up. And this happens through our prayers. On any particular day, that we bring up berurim through our prayers for halamos lamala, and it causes the halamos to go up as well. The Kamasha Kasab at Tefilah Rosh Hashanah, like we have this written in the Tefilah of Rosh Hashanah, it says Ki haneshamos heim yoser penimia min malachim. Now this is the little piece that we have to look at carefully. He says the malachim, Kamasha Kasab at Tefilah Rosh Hashanah, Ki haneshamos. The shamos are very penimistic. That's the ultimate light that is able to reside within us. Ki haneshamos heim yoser penimia min malachim. They're even more penimi, closer to the Ein Sof than angels. The Bavur Sham explained over there. You have shtei bechinas b'olamos. There are two different aspects of olamos. We said before. Habechina b'shoyna hi penimius olama. The first one we have to understand is the interior part, the penimius, which is the spiritual aspect of the world closest to the Ein Sof. Shemechan deshamas yisrael mekavdim shefa, because from these, where the Jewish people receive our blessings. And the reason for this is because the portion of the Jewish people which separates us from the Gentiles is because of the source of where the Olamos get their shefa. So once again, the concept of the light that we're able to receive from Penimius is also the concept of Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. Those three words go together in one idea of going into Penimius. The second one, Shenik B'chitzonis Olamos, which is the outside part of the Olamos. That is where the Malachim nurse. So we're going to go into this a little bit more, and we'll be able to find out what's our problem. Is that why is it that the Malachim are in an inferior position to the Neshamos, and we will be getting to that in another shir. This is Baruch Fleischman at the Tikkun Elevator Kolo.